Did you know there is an animal that millions of people look down upon, that many traditions have rejected, and that society often associates with dirt, poverty, or even sin? However, that same animal can become the beginning of a more prosperous life for a rural family. Why can something so despised produce so much wealth? Why do so many experienced breeders consider it a real opportunity? Why do most people only see mud, smell, and hard work, while others see meat, fertilizer, multiplication, and a future? Today, I want you to look at the pig in a different way. Before talking about the first business, I need to tell you something important. Most people see the pig as a common, dirty animal without greatness. But those who have worked for years in animal production know that the pig is a true conversion machine. It takes in food and transforms it into meat, fat, leather, fertilizer, and money. It makes use of almost everything it consumes and returns value in many ways. When you understand this, you understand why so many communities, for generations, managed to build their family economy by raising pigs. Even in the Bible, although there are passages that restrict the consumption of pork, a very strong image related to this animal appears. The prodigal son ended up taking care of pigs when he reached the lowest point of his life, and it was precisely there, in that place that seemed to represent shame, downfall, and despair, where he woke up, reflected, and made the decision that changed his destiny. That has a profound meaning. Sometimes the path to a better life passes exactly through what we previously despised. The first business is breeding piglets for sale. It seems simple, and it is, but that simplicity is a great advantage. You do not need to start with a large structure or hundreds of animals. You can start with a breeding female, called a sow, and a breeding male. A good sow can give birth 2 or 3 times a year, and in each litter she can have between 8 and 12 piglets. Do a simple calculation. If you have 2 litters a year and 10 piglets are born in each, that is already 20 animals you can sell before fattening them. For a small property, that number can already represent a huge difference in the family's income. High-quality piglets are in demand. Large producers buy them for fattening. Small producers look for them for family breeding. And whoever knows how to manage this process well can create a constant source of income. But the secret is not just in having animals. It is in taking care of the details. Hygiene during birth, good nutrition for the sow during pregnancy, and attention to the piglets in their first days of life are what separate the winning breeder from the losing breeder. In pig farming, multiplication exists, but it only rewards those who take good care of what they have, with patience, discipline, and real daily responsibility from day one, always. The second business has an impact that surprises many people because almost no one thinks about it when they hear about pig farming. Most immediately imagine selling meat, but there is a source of income that can start generating value even before the animals reach the market. I am talking about the production of organic fertilizer from pig waste. I know this might sound strange to some people. After all, when someone thinks of animal waste, they usually think of a problem. They think of something that must be disposed of as quickly as possible. However, the most attentive producers have learned that what many consider trash can become a resource of enormous economic value. When managed correctly, the manure and liquid waste produced by pigs are transformed into one of the most efficient organic fertilizers used in agriculture. Farmers in different regions have observed significant improvements in their crop productivity after replacing part of their chemical fertilizers with organic fertilizers from pig farms. In many cases, the results have been so positive that they have even surprised technicians and specialists in the agricultural sector. But the advantages do not end there. There is a real market for this product. Small horticultural producers, family farmers, recreational farm owners, and people dedicated to different agricultural activities are constantly looking for organic fertilizers to improve the quality of their land. That means the waste from a pig farm can become a second stream of income within the same business. And here appears a very interesting principle repeatedly found in various sacred texts. Nothing should be wasted. Everything that exists has a function and a purpose. Often, what seems like a problem is precisely the missing resource needed to create a new opportunity. In pig farming, exactly that happens. What some people see as an inconvenience can be transformed into a marketable and profitable product. Producers who understand this principle stop thinking solely about selling animals. They start building a more complete, efficient, and sustainable system. Instead of relying on a single source of income, they create several economic opportunities from the same productive activity. This vision allows them to reduce risks and increase the financial stability of the farm. I remember the case of rural families who started raising pigs mainly for the possibility of selling organic fertilizer to farmers in their region. During the first few months, while meat production was not yet generating significant profits, the sale of fertilizer helped cover part of the project's implementation costs. Thanks to that, they were able to move forward with greater security and strengthen their activity. That is what differentiates a common business from a smart business. A smart producer does not look only at the main product. They learn to identify value at every stage of the process. And when they discover new ways to generate income using resources that were previously ignored, they begin to build a much more solid, profitable activity that is prepared to grow over time. The third business is one of the most exciting because it has the capacity to profoundly transform the life of a producing family. I am talking about the artisanal production of sausages and smoked meats. Sausages, chorizos, pork rinds, bacon, ham, colonial salami, and other carefully prepared products can be worth much more than the live animal sold on the hoof. This market is growing because today's consumer is once again valuing artisanal goods. People are no longer just looking for a cheap product. They are looking for flavor, origin, trust, and history. They want to know who produces it, how it is prepared, and why that food has its own identity. A product made by human hands with patience and responsibility conveys something that a large factory cannot always convey. Here is one of the great economic differences in pig farming. A live pig has a certain value in the market, but when that same animal is transformed into artisanal products, its value can multiply several times. In many cases, the difference between selling the raw animal and selling processed products can be 3 to 5 times greater. It is the same animal, the same initial effort, but with a different and much more profitable strategy. However, this path demands seriousness. It is not simply about preparing food anywhere and going out to sell it. To work with sausages and smoked meats, it is necessary to comply with sanitary regulations, have an adequate processing space, and take care of hygiene, preservation, raw material quality, and the final presentation of the product. It is not impossible, but it requires work. And that is exactly where the opportunity lies, because many people give up when they discover that it is not enough to just produce. You also have to do things correctly. The Bible teaches the value of diligence. Diligence means attention, care, perseverance, and responsibility in what one does. In this business, that teaching becomes very practical. Whoever produces a quality sausage, whoever takes care of the flavor, cleanliness, presentation, and honesty with the consumer, is not just selling food. They are building trust. And trust is one of the most valuable assets a small producer can create. When a family buys your product once and is satisfied, they return. When they return, they recommend it. When they recommend it, your name starts to circulate. Little by little, what started as a small production can become a respected local brand. There are families who started with a few sows and a simple dream. First, they sold in the community. Then they received more orders. Later, they improved their production space. Over time, they were able to employ other people and become a benchmark in their region. That path does not start with a large factory. It starts with a decision, with a well-utilized pig, and with the will to work on every detail with excellence. Meat feeds, but added value builds a future. The fourth business is the most surprising of all, and that is why I have saved it for this moment. It is not just about raising pigs to sell animals, meat, fertilizer, or processed products. It is about using pig farming as a tool for social and community restoration. It may sound grand, almost too ambitious, but in practice it is simpler than it seems. In many rural regions, there are families who survive on very little. They produce just enough to eat, work hard every day, and yet they cannot manage to take the next step. They do not lack willpower. They do not lack strength. What they often lack is structure, organization, and a productive opportunity that can grow with them. Raising pigs in a community system can offer exactly that. Several families come together, divide the costs, share the work, and distribute the profits. A single family might not be able to build an adequate facility, but 5 families together can. A single family might not be able to access rural credit, but an organized association has more strength. A single family might not produce enough volume to sell to a larger buyer, but a group of families can reach a much more interesting scale. This model has very deep roots in biblical principles. The idea of community, mutual help, fair distribution, and collective building appears in ancient teachings that value unity and honest work. When people stop walking alone and organize themselves around a common goal, prosperity stops seeming like a distant dream and starts becoming a natural consequence. In practice, this system allows for the creation of something more solid than a fragile individual farm. Each family contributes what they can. One can provide land, another can provide labor, another can take care of the daily care, another can help with sales. Little by little, the project stops depending on a single person and becomes a collective effort. This type of initiative already exists in different parts of Brazil and has produced real results. In regions of Minas Gerais, Paraná, and also in the Northeast, community projects linked to pig farming have helped families improve their income, better organize their production, and gain economic dignity. It was not magic. It was not an empty promise. It was shared work, planning, and commitment. The strongest part of this model is that it does not just transform a bank account. It transforms the self-esteem of a community. When families see that they can produce together, sell together, and grow together, something changes inside. Trust appears, hope appears. The feeling that the future no longer depends solely on external favors appears. Therefore, community pig farming should not be seen as a small idea. It can start with a few animals, simple facilities, and limited resources, but when there is unity, responsibility, and purpose, a small project can become the beginning of a profound transformation for many families. Now, I want to tell you something important, something you should keep with you when this video ends. It does not matter which of these 4 businesses connects best with your reality. Maybe it is the sale of piglets, maybe the production of organic fertilizer, maybe artisanal sausages, or perhaps a community project. What is truly important is that you understand one thing. Prosperity does not fall from the sky without human action. Prosperity is born from work, knowledge, and the courage to start. Many people dream of changing their lives, but they keep waiting for the perfect moment, the perfect money, the perfect land, or the perfect experience. And while they wait, the years go by. In the countryside, the one who prospers is not always the one who starts with the most resources, but the one who learns to use what little they have well. Pig farming is not a glamorous path. It is not a clean, comfortable, or easy activity every day. You are going to get your hands dirty. You are going to wake up early. You are going to feel tired. You are going to deal with smell, mud, sick animals, difficult births, losses, and frustrations. There will be days when you will wonder if it is worth continuing. There will be moments when a wrong decision could cost you money, time, and spirit. But there is also another part of this life that few people know. There is the satisfaction of seeing the animals you cared for grow. There is the emotion of seeing a healthy litter born. There is the pride of selling your first piglet, your first bag of fertilizer, your first artisanal piece, your first product made with your own hands. There is the real feeling of knowing that your effort has shape, weight, result, and value. That is what makes this path so special. It is not just about money. It is about building something concrete. In a world where so many people work for years without clearly seeing the fruit of their effort, the rural producer sees life grow before their eyes. They see food transform into an animal. They see the animal transform into a product. They see the product transform into income. And they see the income transform into improvement for their family. But none of that happens without discipline. Whoever enters pig farming thinking only of quick profits may be disappointed. This business rewards those who observe, learn, correct, and persevere. Every mistake teaches. Every loss leaves a lesson. Every difficulty forces the producer to become more attentive, more prepared, and more responsible. Therefore, before starting, you must look at your reality honestly. Evaluate your space, your time, your resources, and your willingness to work. Start with what you have, but start with seriousness. Because a small, well-cared-for project can grow. A well-managed animal can multiply. And a decision made with courage can open a new history for your entire family. I want to end this video by sharing something very personal with you. I have been working with animals for over 2 decades. Over the years, I have made mistakes, made wrong decisions, and gone through difficult times that tested my determination. There were times when I lost animals to diseases. There were situations where I invested money I barely had, and the results were not what I expected. There were also moments of frustration when it seemed like all the effort I put in wasn't paying off. However, despite all those difficulties, I never regretted choosing this path. And the reason is very simple. Every mistake taught me something that no book, no university, and no course could teach me in the same way. The most valuable lessons were born from experience, daily observation, and the responsibility of having to find solutions when problems arose. Today, when I see a young rural producer taking their first steps in pig farming, I feel I have a responsibility. The responsibility to share what I've learned over all these years in the clearest, most honest, and most human way possible. That is why this channel exists. It doesn't exist to sell promises of easy money. It doesn't exist to convince you that wealth appears overnight. It exists to offer the information I wish I had received when I started my own journey. Every week, I try to bring practical knowledge, real stories, and strategies that can be applied to different realities. It doesn't matter if you have a large property, a small plot of land, or just a modest space to start. The important thing is to understand the right principles and learn how to use them intelligently. If you have made it to this point in the video, you have already proven something important. Most people give up before reaching the end. Many hear an interesting idea and then go on with their routine without doing anything. You have stayed here. That shows interest, patience, and a willingness to learn. And those qualities are fundamental for anyone who wants to build something lasting. That is why I want to ask you a simple favor. If you found this content useful, please support it. An action as simple as leaving a like helps more people find this information. If you are not yet subscribed to the channel, subscribe now and turn on notifications so you don't miss the upcoming videos. In future content, we will dive deeper into each of these businesses. We will talk about management, nutrition, genetics, the market, and many other important aspects for anyone who wants to start or grow in pig farming. And if you know someone who is looking for an opportunity in farming, share this video with them. Sometimes information shared at the right time can become the push that changes a life. Always remember something. Great stories usually start very small. The first pig you raise might not seem like much, but it could become the first chapter of a story capable of transforming your family's future for generations. Start with what you have, from where you are, and improve step by step along the way. I believe in your potential and your ability to build something great. See you in the next video.